back to Kicking It with Kickie. I hope that you guys are experiencing such a beautiful weekend, being open and inviting to this new energy that's coming in. Spring is gonna be here in a couple of days, and it just feels like a very good energy. It feels fresh, it feels crisp, it feels new and exciting for like waiting for what's to come. You know what I mean? So, yes. So, it's been a lot of things on my mind, and the only thing that's been sticking with me is starting over, starting over. And I was trying to push my mind away from that. I don't know why, but to me that's just a sign like of things that I've been praying about and what I've been reading in scripture since I've been studying my word. And yeah, that's just been sticking with me. So that's our topic for today: resetting, starting over, however you want to put it. I'm going to read from Ephesians chapter 2 verses 10, and it reads, "For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do good things He planned for us long ago." And in my reading and studying lately, what I have realized and what I am coming to know more about what I'm reading, and not that this is something that I don't think I have known. I think that it's sitting with me a little bit differently now. But the things that we chase in life and that we think that's just the finish line, that's it. And although I know that's not it, because while we are on this earth, what we should be doing should be for upbuilding His kingdom and for His glory, not for our own selfish reasons or for an applause, for, you know, the accolades and everything. And all those things are good for the work that you do. And that's not to discredit anything that anybody does, because we all work hard for what we want in life. But salvation, after we leave this world, like, we can't take none of this stuff with us. And it's like, why am I truly waking up every day? And what am I doing to make sure that I feel like my best, even if I feel like I'm starting over? And in this season, the energy and everything, like I said, feels great, but it definitely feels like starting over. And when you feel like that, it can be overwhelming, it can be daunting, it can have some fear in you because you just don't know like what's coming next. And it can leave you feeling like you're back at square one, with no sense of direction or no sense of purpose about what it is I'm doing. You start to question yourself, you start to question God, or when is it gonna be my turn, or why did this happen to me, or, you know, all the things that I worked so hard for, this can't be happening to me again. But it's like, we have to look at things a little bit differently. So whether this starting over is a breakup, a loss of work, or a personal crisis, or just the overall desire to just want more out of life, to grow more, it can be both exhilarating and terrifying. I'm sure we all have experienced this feeling at some time or another. And just the thought of, you know, having to feel like you were starting from scratch once again after all you worked so hard for, like I said, can make you feel defeated, it can make you feel lost. But the important thing to remember, however, is that it is not a sign of failure. I say this all the time, like anything that we do in life, if we tried it, and whether we succeeded or not, you're not a failure. At least you tried. Some people don't even do that. They just talk about it and never do the work. So it's not a sign of failure. It's just a new beginning, a chance to grow into something bigger and better than maybe God has planned for us. And we also have to let go of things that feel so familiar. things that we've been holding on and got into the routine of doing. And yes, it's good to have a routine, but it's good to shake things up too sometimes, because once you get into the routine of doing something, you start getting bored with yourself. Shake it up. We also have to know that sometimes things that no longer serve us can be painful or hard to process emotionally, but it's necessary for our development, especially when it's things that you've been praying for and seeking a sign for and praying to God, like, this can't be it. And I'm talking to myself too, like, he'll take the room and shake it up for you if you don't decide that you gonna move or do something different after he like, okay, let me see what you gonna do, because I'm waiting on you. So you know what I mean? It's also okay to grieve and feel certain emotions about what was, but it's important to also focus on the possibilities and opportunities that lie ahead of us. Uncertainty and unpredictability are challenges that also arise in the unknowing, but it must be embraced with an open mind and a positive attitude. No matter what we do, we're human. We all know that. But God also looks at the ways of our hearts and our attitude and how we are adjusting to something. Are we being angry about something? And another thing that I heard, let me just throw this in there. I was watching this video, but she was sitting in her car. She was saying how she was so upset with God, and when you're praying for something and you feel like he's moving you out of something, but then it's like, okay, what's next? Like, I still need to make money for this. I still need to do this. And it's like, she was saying that she heard something or something happened, and she was just like, it made her sit back and say, wow, like, she was in tears. And I was convicted of this too, because she was like, God needs rest as well. We think that we need rest. Even though he's everywhere at one time, he needs rest to say, okay, let me work on this. But then I'm going to come back over here and bring this to you, or however I'm going to bring it to you to let you see or hear a word from me, or whatever the case may be. But right now, I need rest. Even like when God was making the earth and doing things, and on the Sabbath day, he rests. But just as much as we need rest, and rest from people and rest from all the conversations that people want to pull us into, God needs rest. He's hearing all these prayers, and yeah, he's the creator, the way maker, but it's selfish to us to just think like, I need you to come now. Like, I've been praying for this right now, and this is what I need. This is what I've been asking for. I see you doing this for this person and this person. And it's like, we don't know how long they waited either. So just being patient with God and keeping faith in him, and even in the unknowing or the uncertainty, and just keep praying, keep believing, keep fasting. And fasting too, I was watching a sermon, and I'm always convicted when people talk about fasting, because it makes me feel bad. Like, do I want to give up food for, which is not a problem. Done it before, but the preacher also talked about how fasting doesn't just have to be food. It can be whatever you find desirable, or your thing that you just gotta have and indulge in. It can be television. It can be the music that you like listening to. You like sweets. Fasting from certain things to maybe wean yourself off of it, and if you can do it for this amount of time, you can go again for that certain amount of time until, hey, I'm not even thinking about indulging in this anymore. And not to say completely, but not as much as I used to. And to give up something and to give more of yourself to God it just lets him know, like, okay, I can trust you with doing this. And to me, like, I can trust you with doing this because I know that you have the discipline in this area, and he can take that thing to bless you with the bigger thing that you've been praying for. And it's just, like, I see that you can do this in this area, so let me take that and bless you with this over here and what you've been asking and praying for, because I feel like you deserve it. I feel like you can handle it. So, I feel like when we're getting pushed out of certain things, that's what God is saying. Like, I feel like you can handle this. It may hurt you at first, but I do believe that you're going to come to realization, like, I'm okay. I am good, and can't nobody take this feeling away from me. So, yeah, steward your attitude and take a deep trust in knowing that everything is gonna fall in place. I've said this a lot of times, I don't know, in previous videos, but I say it often, even when I'm talking with certain people. Like, if you ever been through something and you didn't know, like, how you were gonna, like, come out of it, or just say moving into a new place and you're like, how am I gonna pay for this? How God, I got approved, but how am I gonna pay for this? You didn't get approved for no reason. So it's like, I trusted you this far to get me somewhere new to stay, so I can trust you even more of knowing how it's gonna be taken care of. And if he did it before, he'll do it again. And all I need to have is that continuous faith the size of a mustard seed. And a mustard seed is like, you can't even, it'll fall out of my hand right now. So that amount of faith is all we need. And that's all God is asking us for. Things that are happening in our life, regardless of what they are, is going to require a new shift in our mindset, and not viewing things as a setback, but instead of setbacks, view it as self-discovery and self-growth. Like, what am I learning new about myself? What am I going to focus on new about myself to help me be better? Or the things that I have been thinking about that I didn't feel like I had a chance to really do, but now I have the time to do it. Am I going to give it my all? Am I going to just sit back and put my feet up and complain every time? Or am I going to show him that I'm able to commit to this thing and be true to myself? And this is a chance to explore new interests, the things that we like in life, to push ourselves out of our comfort zones and reflect on our goals and values, but also using those goals and values to create a new fulfilling path for ourselves, a new joy, a new awakening in ourselves. And this is our chance to write a new chapter, learn from the past experiences about the things that we may have liked or disliked, and we can take that with us when we are setting boundaries for our next phase in life. And especially if you've been somewhere for so long and you know what you did like and what you didn't. And the thing is, I know it's upsetting when we can lose something, whether it is a job, a place, a person, or but realizing too, like, was I truly reflecting and realizing, was I truly at my best when I was there, or was I just going with the motion and just happy to get a check, happy to just be around somebody even if they were not serving me? Or in a job as well, was it serving me in the way that I was able to show up fully myself and not have to put a mask on to cover up the true way that I feel? You know what I mean? So those are things to reflect about as well. But we can also create the life of our dreams. Creating the life of our dreams is something that we cannot never do. It's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too young to dream big. Like, do it. If you can see it, it can be done. That's the thing. We never know who's watching us either. And it's like, just continue to show up for yourself. That's my thing. Show up for yourself. Cause you just never know. Doing things that align with our true selves. That's the goal. So embrace the journey, trust the process, and believe in your ability to create a fulfilling and meaningful life in this new season, in this new journey that God is blessed you with. No matter where you are, if you are going through something right now, I do pray for a peace of all understanding. So that you understand where God is taking you. I do hope that you all continue to have a beautiful and blessed week. And I know this time change is like kicking some of us down. It seemed like we couldn't ever get right with the first time change, and now we're back where we started, spring forward. And I hope that we can catch up. If you haven't, I think I'm doing pretty good on the time right now. The first day kind of keep me down. So continue to have a beautiful and bountiful week. I wish you abundance of prosperity and love and peace. And I hope that this new season brings you joy. I hope that this new season brings you a reset for your mindset, and that you are open to positive change and learning more about yourself and connecting to things that are made for you and aligned with you and for you. Continue to show up in love, do things from love and not for love. Peace and love. Okay.